People often ignore the PTE reorder paragraph questions, but it is quite crucial to give you up to 13 points boost to your PTE reading scores. So this video will give you 5 hidden hacks and secrets that will easily strengthen your PTE reading scores. So watch this video right till the end and explore the hidden secrets that even Pearson is trying to hide from you. Hey everyone, this is Anurag here from Edutrainex PTE. I hope you all are doing great. Simple combination of grammar along with conjunctions or linking and transition words can easily give you an accuracy of 100% in PTE reorder paragraph, just like our students are achieving. So call it hacks or cheat code, whatever you want to call it, but this can easily change your PTE reading scores in a guaranteed way. So we are going to do some exam questions as well. If you're looking for all the latest exam questions, just join our YouTube Priority member and you will get access to all of them. And if you're looking for paid access, for paid assistance, please WhatsApp us, where we will provide you unlimited coaching at one single cost with a lot of goodies. So like and subscribe and let's start cracking the hidden secrets of reorder paragraph. So this is the exam question that we are going to do together. It is a 5-sentence question, and this type of question, at least one of them you will get out of 3 to 4 that you get in the exam. One of them easily will be up to 5 sentences. So this is the question. If you want to start solving it, you can try it on your own, but we'll start cracking it using the hacks and the tricks that I'm going to show you. It will become very easy. Believe me, at the end, we'll also do a question applying all those skills together. Again, all these are exam questions. As I said to you, you can get them from the repeated questions file by becoming a YouTube Priority member. So the first hack that I'm going to talk to you about is penultimate. A paragraph cannot start with a pronoun. Now we'll again go back to the question and see whether this is applicable or not. A pronoun cannot begin a paragraph because pronoun refers to noun. So what we need to do, the first thing in reorder paragraph, is to find an independent or a topic sentence. So if you see a sentence starting with a pronoun, it can never be a topic sentence. Sometimes the Pearson will also put a whole sentence describing a process, and then in the next sentence it will say this process or this procedure. So the whole sentence is actually replaced as a pronoun. So you just need to be careful. I'll show it to you in the question. It is there in the same question that we were talking about. There is one exception though, there is one catch. Okay, it can start a sentence like this. It is a wonderful day. It has been a long time since we met. So things like that. Don't get confused. This is a way of writing in English. Some sentences can start with it, but other than that, this, that, whatever pronouns, he, she, if you see a sentence starting with it, it will not be a pronoun. So let's examine the question that we were just talking about. It coordinates our movements. The very first sentence, this cannot be the topic sentence. You can eliminate it. Sentence number 3, this selective process. Again, this cannot be a topic sentence because it is talking about a process which is not described in this sentence. Eliminated. The brain, the barrier serves, but it poses. Okay, so these two sentences may look like independent. Let's examine the sentence number B. Protects the organ. We don't know which organ it is talking about yet, okay? And it is not mentioned if you carefully examine. So sentence number 3 is also gone. So using just the concept of pronouns, we were able to eliminate 3 sentences and then just cut down to 2 of them to decide which one is the topic sentence. Finding the topic and the independent sentence, both are the same thing, is the very first thing that you have to do. And then thereon, you just need to find the sequences, the linking of the sentences, how they are telling you the story. And at the end, the whole paragraph that is shown to you in reorder paragraph is telling you some kind of procedure, some kind of process. So we'll also talk about what are the popular paragraph structures that we have seen up until now in the PTE reading questions, and we'll talk about it in the reorder paragraph questions. We'll come to that. So first hack, we were able to eliminate 3 of the sentences not being the topic sentence. The second hack is also very nice. A paragraph cannot start with a linking word or a conjunction. So you will not start any paragraph with whereas, or you will not start a paragraph with a however, moreover, firstly, secondly. There could be some conjunctions exceptions, although, because sometimes we start a complex sentence with although. So that's where we talk about exceptions, but most of the time, 99% of the time, this will not be the starting sentence. This will not be the topic sentence, and that's why you see there is a big cross mark in front of the topic sentence. So if you see any words like this, however, moreover, therefore, secondly, since, hence, also, additionally. Okay, those will not be the topic sentence. As I said to you, there are some exceptions again to this rule, like when you are writing a complex sentence, then you are using not only but also or although, those kind of things. And there are some other words which can help you to decide whether it sounds like a conclusion sentence or not. Concluding words will be something that is concluding, like thus, therefore, hence. To summarize, in conclusion, of course they will not make it too obvious for you, it will not make it too easy for you, but again, if you see the sentences like this can never be the topic sentence. Okay, many of the time sentences contain these words, but they may not be the concluding sentence. Okay, they may be concluding some part of it. Okay, we'll examine the question again which we were talking about, which we were discussing, again an exam question from this particular month. Let's see. We already eliminated this. We already eliminated this. What about this? Therefore. Now see, this could be a concluding sentence, but we have to decide it when we are solving the question. Again, this cannot be the topic sentence. So again, applying the second hack, we were also able to eliminate, and also it was talking about the organ which was not referred to it yet. What about the last two? Can we still find out the topic sentence? The brain is our most treasured possession. The barrier serves a vital role, but it also poses. Now there is a catch. There is a very, very secret technique which I will tell you. It is very simple. Up until now, if you think you didn't know, that means you should know. So let's talk about the hack number 3, which is the biggest one. Usage of articles. Now, many people are not confident in how to use the articles. We have covered this topic several times in our grammar videos. The article and a and an article. These are called as, a and an are called as indefinite articles, and the is called as the definite articles. So this is what the story is all about. Indefinite and definite articles. When we use the word the in front of any object, any noun, that means either it has to be definite. So that means the identity is known, like the Indian Ocean, the President of United States. So if something is unique, then you put a the in front of it. But if something is not unique that we are talking about, then you have to introduce it first using indefinite article, and only then you can use a definite article with it. Okay, so let's examine the question again using the concepts that we have learned, and this time we'll be able to find the topic sentence 100%. Okay, again this is an exam question. We eliminated option A because of pronoun, option B because of a linking word, option C because of a pronoun, and option E, you see here, the barrier. The barrier, which barrier is it talking about? You can't use a definite article like the until an identity is known. So which sentence will precede it, you have to find out. And if you examine closely, a proactive boundary barrier is introduced in this sentence. So ideally, C will come before the sentence number E. Does that make sense? Very, very simple, right? An adjective can come before a noun. So as I said, a barrier could have some adjectives like proactive, boundary, barrier, describing the noun in detail, but still the same indefinite article is used, a or an, depending on whether it's a vowel word or just a consonant word like this one. So again, which one can be eliminated? This one can be eliminated. Now we have found our topic sentence, which is D. The brain is our most treasured possession, and that becomes the topic sentence. So this begin. And now if you think, why the brain? Can we use the brain? Yes, of course, the brain is a very unique thing we are talking about. So that's why we are able to use the definite article with the brain, the heart, okay, the body. We can use the definite article over with this type of words, which are very, very unique, which are very, very definite. Okay, using just 3 hacks, we were able to find out the topic sentence. There are 2 more to be done, and they will be able to help you to find out the other linking things over here. We can already find some sequences using the 3 hacks which we have learned up until now, but there will be more. Okay, so let's move on to the next hack, which is the combination of subject, verb, object connection. Now, I have told you several times in my grammar videos how the subject, verb, object, subject and verb has to comply, agree with each other, subject, verb agreement in the simple present tense form. But in reorder paragraph, we want to enhance that concept that we have learned until now. because we are given the question to find the sequences. That is where the marks is, right? You know, for positions we don't get marks in reorder paragraph, only for sequences we get the marks. So what I'm trying to say, you see this diagram, subject of the first sentence can either remain the subject of the second sentence, that will provide the linkage, okay, or the subject of the first sentence can become the object of the next sentence, or same thing with the object. If the object is introduced in the first sentence, it can either become the subject of the next sentence or it can remain the object of the next sentence, okay. No particular combination of verbs is used to follow the links, but subject and object are definitely used. Let's see the example. Okay, Newton invented the calculus. Okay, Newton is the subject, this is the verb, this is the object. Now next sentence, it is now widely taught in universities. So they have replaced the object with a pronoun. Now which object it is? It. What is it pointing to? It is pointing to calculus. So which rule applied here? The object of the first sentence became the subject of the next sentence. This is how they connect the sentences. And this is the way of writing in English. Alright, what if I changed it something like this? Newton invented the calculus. He also invented trigonometry or trigonometry. Okay, so there I replaced the subject, which is Newton, with he. This time I replaced a pronoun pointing to the subject. So subject remained the subject of the next sentence, but it can still be the connecting sentence because it is pointing to the previous sentence. Alright, how does a subject become an object? If they change the voice. Now this one is written in active voice. Newton invented the calculus. And if I say in the next sentence, trigonometry was also invented by him. Again, him is a pronoun pointing to Newton, but this time it became the object of the second sentence, right at the end. So you see the connection that I am trying to tell you. This is the linkage that we need to find. Now again, we'll go back to the question and try to see if we see some of these sequences in the sentences that are given to us as part of this question. There are a couple of them. You can pause the video, you can try it on your own. Till now we have learned the 4 hacks. Try to find the next one. So what we'll see, we found the topic sentence, which is the sentence number D. The brain is our most treasured possession. And then the brain, which is the subject here, over here, is replaced by a pronoun in this sentence. So the subject remained the subject in the next sentence. What is it talking about? The brain is our most treasured possession. It coordinates our movements, our words, our relationships, and the ability to pass on our genes. So now you found the sequence is this sentence will come before this. So 1 point we were able to achieve just by applying these 4 simple hacks that I showed to you. There is one more and we'll wait for it. Can we see any other sequences here? So after this, therefore our body protects the organ. Okay, the organ, we'll talk about it, but let's examine what is it explaining in this sentence. The central nervous system policies particles traveling through the bloodstream and invites only the safest into our cognitive chamber. This selective process occurs due to a proactive boundary barrier. Now this selective process, as I told you before, a whole sentence describing a process can be pointed out with a pronoun. So this selective process is actually describing how they are selecting, how the brain is selecting something, what is described in this sentence. So this sentence will be the next one after this. And what will come after C is, we have already talked about, a protective barrier will lead to this sentence, which is the barrier. Indefinite article and definite article. So how many sequences we have found up until now? 1, 2, 3. Now we just need to find one more and the whole question will be solved. So first sentence we found out the brain is our most treasured possession. Second sentence, it coordinates our movements, relationships and the ability. Now the third sentence will be, therefore our body protects the organ fiercely. Which organ is it talking about? It is still talking about the brain and it is following from here. Now what happens sometimes in the paragraph, when we start talking about any nouns, we try to add some supporting details before we deviate away from the topic. So exactly the same thing is displayed over here. The brain is our most treasured possession. Then it gives you some supporting information. It coordinates our movements and blah blah whatever is given to you. Therefore, our body protects the organ fiercely. The organ pointing to the brain. And this time, therefore is not a concluding sentence. So as I told you before, it is not 100% rule that therefore sentences containing therefore thus will always come in the end, but it will not come at the beginning. That is for 100% sure. So how many sequences did we find? 1, 2, 3, 4, and the question is solved. The answer is D, A, B, C, E. D, A, B, C, E. You can read it on your own and it will start making perfect sense to you. Now the last hack that I promised to you is to talk about the popular paragraph structures, because we keep on doing the analysis of the questions every single day. We prepare the prediction files for you, the latest questions, and we also do the analysis on top of it. We speak to the students as well, and the type of questions that are coming in the exam, it's not a rocket science, right? Several websites also give you prediction questions and we provide to you in one file so that it's easier for you to practice from one place. Now, hack number 5 is also to identify the popular paragraph structures that are coming in the PT exam. And there are 4 in total. First of all, the chronology. It will give you some paragraphs which will have some dates or years and you have to find the sequence. So again, it will tell you a story about something that started here, then it progressed. It can talk about wars, it can talk about people, it can talk about any historical events. Chronology, order of time. That is one of the popular paragraph structures that we have seen. The second one is the most popular one, and that we did just now, is a process describing a flow. This is it. This is what happens next. This is then what happens. And then finally, this is what happens. So there will be some kind of process or explanation. The flow is there. It is very easy to solve as well using the techniques what we have learned until now. Chronology, you have to put the dates that come before at the beginning, and then the dates that come later, you have to put at the later sentences. So that's how you follow the sequence. The third one is not so popular, but we have still seen questions coming according to this order of importance. So general tendency in English or when we write paragraphs is first things we talk about the most important things and then we move on to the lesser important things. Of course, we will add some supporting details to the important things and then move on to the lesser important details. Hold on, we'll still do a question, exam question, applying all the hacks that we have done until now, and I'm sure you will be able to solve the question. And the last one is also one of the popular, second most popular type of paragraph that you see, comparison and contrast. So it will start talking about two things, maybe whales and fishes, and then it will do some comparison, and in the end it will talk about contrastingly. On the other hand, on the opposite side, it will provide some contrasting information. Okay, I hope you learned many good things, many good hacks. These things are not obvious when you are doing just the practice questions. So this is what we do in our live classes as well, even in a deeper format, because YouTube time is limited. That is how much information I can share you so that you can prepare on your own. Some people don't need that much help. So if you are one of those, just utilize these concepts to help you. Now let's do the question, final question, and let's try to solve it using the same techniques that we have learned. Now, if I see this particular question, you can pause it and try to attempt it on your own, but it is again describing a flow or a process, right? Let's find the topic sentence. A can't be the topic sentence, starting with a linking word. C, again starting with but. D, starting with the startup. No startup is being talked about in this sentence. So 3 sentences eliminated. We found the topic sentence, which is B. I will write it over here so you can relate to it once you are thorough and once you have progressed to the next part of the slide. What is the next one? Now we need to find the connections. So the first sentence is cameras help autonomous vehicles read street signs and the color of traffic lights. Now you understand some context as well. It's talking about some cameras. Cameras help autonomous vehicles. And you see one more trick I'll tell you. When we talk about things in general, we don't use any article. We don't say the cameras, we don't say a camera. We just pluralize it and say cameras. This is also one of the writing techniques which we tell you when you are joining us for live classes, and of course in many videos also I have shared. The thing is, you note down and you remember it. Okay, this was the first sentence. What comes next? Let's examine. We're talking about any startup, so D can't follow. Now a startup, again, it's talking about startup. So we introduced about cameras. We need to add some supporting details, right? Let's examine the option C here, sentence C. But LiDARs, aka light detection and ranging systems, do the important work of sensing and helping cars avoid obstacles, whether that is a fallen tree, drunk driver, child running out on the road. So this is giving you some details about how the cameras help the autonomous vehicle, providing the supporting details. So we found the next sentence, which is C. It is adding more details. Now which one will come? You have to only choose two or remaining sentence. It's very easy, using the concept of indefinite and definite article. In this we see a startup, in this we see the startup. So the next one, I'll put down the answers first, then we'll discuss. The next one will be A and the last one will be D. Now even if you read it, when we talked about this, now a startup, it is adding a linking word to give some more information, deviate away from the topic. A startup called Luminar Technologies Inc. is unveiling a high-resolution LiDAR. So we talked about LiDARs in general with a plural, and then we are talking about high-resolution LiDAR sensor that was 5 years in the making, adding more details about the LiDAR. Again, the sequence. And then finally, the startup, which has raised 36 million in seeding stage funding so far, built its LiDAR systems from scratch. So we found the sequence. If you are able to do it like this, you will get full marks in the reorder paragraph. And as I said, 1 to 3 sequences you found here. So you will get 3 points from questions like this. If you have 5 sentences in the question, you will get 4 points. And 3 to 4 questions you get in the exam. So roughly 10 to 13 points you can get from reorder paragraph questions. Please don't ignore this question. There are some people on the YouTube, they are just asking you to skip this question. Please don't do that. Reorder paragraph is important. Okay, you can still skip if you don't have enough time management. You can skip the multiple choice questions, but not the reorder paragraph. Okay, 10 to 13 points. There was one student, I'll show her scorecard here, from Australia, who was not able to cross 79 in all her attempts, previous attempts, 4 or 5 attempts. But after improving and working on reorder paragraphs with me, then she was, very next attempt, she was able to secure a 79 plus score. We also have a special video in the members exclusive video. You can watch and see her entire experience. So that is what we need to learn and solve the questions of the reorder paragraph. So just understand the connections that I have talked to you about using the 5 hacks that I have shared. The first 4 are really important. The 5th one is the pattern of questions. Combine it together and it will make a substantial difference in your reading scores, absolutely guaranteed. And if you're looking for the questions that we publish on a monthly basis, most repeated questions, the latest questions, you just need to join our YouTube Priority member. The link is given in the description. You just need to use a laptop, go to our channel, click on join, and then you will be able to access not only the latest questions for both PT Core and Academic, as well as the spelling list from the listening module. Okay, and if you are looking for paid assistance, full coaching, we do provide it. Just WhatsApp us, tell us your requirements, and we'll provide you unlimited coaching at one single cost. Keep watching Edutrainex, and I'll soon be back with another informative video on PT topics. See you soon.